5:36 p.m. We have roll call. Mr. Bemke, Kubaschak, Kellogg, and Veneman are present. Mr. Katnaugh and Zerflu are appearing by Zoom. Attorney Shills by Zoom, and Mr. Aom and Mr. Koth are excused. All right, first item agenda is discuss Labor Day celebration fireworks display. Mr. Kellogg.
On the Finance and Property Committee on August 4th voted 3-0 to cancel the Labor Day fireworks. The fireworks were rescheduled from the 4th of July. The cancellation of the Labor Day fireworks is due to the COVID concern, and the city of Wisconsin Rapids is required to pay a cancellation fee of $1,000, which is 5% of the total cost. I don't know if somebody wants to make a motion or you want to discuss it now, or
We can probably start with a motion, and I know we have a gentleman in the audience that would like to address the council.
okay, I'll make a motion to cancel Labor Day fireworks display.
Okay, we have a motion. Is there a second? We have a second by Mr. Bemke. I'd open the floor for discussion. I guess if the council entertain Mr. Jinsky to speak to the council. He is in Mr. Zerflu's ward or district.
Thank you. I originally wanted to come to the meeting on Tuesday to discuss the open alcohol container. Last year, the 4th of July, we had the problem, and then Alicia from Door 212 had come down. And I'd been trying to get on that meeting for quite a while. Then I get the notice that 4th of July celebration is canceled. And I don't understand it. We've got lunch by the river. Went on today. We got the farmer's market down there. Water park is open. The kids are supposed to go back to school right after Labor Day. Tony Evers has made his mandate so everyone has to wear a mask. If they're safe, we can have a safe 4th of July celebration. There's no reason we can't. I overheard a little bit about possibly, the airport or another venue, which would be great. This community's hurting right now. And I think something like this is good for the community. It's good for the relationship between the police officers and the community. I just can't see canceling it. It's time to come together, not all just sit home. It's been an important part of the summer in Wisconsin Rapids forever. I can't believe we're just going to let it go away. That's all I got to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Jinsky. Is there anyone else that'd like to speak?
I have a question.
Yes, go ahead, Jake.
I thought Steve made a motion on Tuesday that passed to delay them into 2021, not necessarily cancel them. Is that no longer the case? We're moving to cancel rather than move to 2021?
Are you talking, I guess, just to clarify, are you talking on different date in 2021 other than July 4th? Or are you talking July 4th, 2021?
When we were discussing the contract, I thought there was a stipulation in there where we did have the option to extend it out to 2021 rather than fully cancel it. Is that not the case anymore? Or?
I talked to Sue.
Attorney Schill, if you heard Mr. Katnaugh, I don't even know how to ask the question. So,
yes, can you hear me?
yeah, yes. So I guess the question is,
Well, right. It was my understanding. understanding
Go ahead.
you were not going to have it on Labor Day, and that we weren't going to have it on Labor Day, but we were going to have it, resume our 4th of July works on July 4, 2021.
And we could push the contract off until then, correct?
And the contract that we have with, right, we just had a 1-year contract for this past year. So understanding that then we were just going to have the fireworks on July 4th and stay with the same company with that same contract for 2021.
Did that answer your question, Mr. Catnaugh?
Yeah, well, yeah, I heard parts of it, so I guess my thought is rather than cancel and pay the fee, why are we not considering just, we use this company lots of previous years in the past, so why don't we just delay this out to 2021, keep the contract, and go from there? I don't see why we got to cancel. Then we'll have to renegotiate a contract next year. What if their rates spike up? What if they shut down shop? What if they're booked up? That would just be my concern with canceling it versus let's just move it out.
I guess so I
We're
understand.
paying $1,000 and then we're renegotiating it again.
I think Mr. Veneman's up first.
Yeah, oh, go ahead.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
As I recall from Attorney Schill, it said something, at the meeting, the worst that would happen would be pay the $1,000. She said something, if I remember, I don't have the minutes in front of me, but it was something of, we have a very good relationship with that organization, and that might even be waived, so if we moved it to 2021. I thought that was still something we were negotiating. Maybe I misunderstood.
Mr. Kellogg?
Was my understanding, and Sue can correct me, but I think it was part of the contract that if there was a cancellation, it would be $1,000. If it was closer to the 4th of July, it would even, and that's 1% of the contract. So if it was closer to the 4th of July and we cancel it, it would have been more than 1%. And so I think my understanding is we want to go with this company for next year, but because the contract had a cancellation clause that if you cancel, it's 1% of the total contract, which is $1,000. And Sue can correct me on it, but that's my understanding.
The attorney's on the phone. Yep. Go ahead.
Okay, Attorney Schill, go ahead.
Well, I guess I'm sorry I got the call there. It was, okay, so we have a contract for 2020, and it was for July 4th. And we canceled July 4th, and they had said that if we could still get it in for this year, that they wouldn't charge a cancellation fee. Well, we're not going to be able to get it in this year if you guys decide to not have it on September 4th. So I thought the motion from finance was recognizing that we had to pay a $1,000 fee for not getting the fireworks in 2020, and that then we would ask them to have the same agreement for 2021 for July 4. But maybe I misunderstood what happened at finance.
Mr. Catnaugh, does that clear it up any further? I think his question is if we could push it off. Could you guys? You couldn't hear, okay.
Yeah, my question is, can we push it off and keep the same contract? I guess that's in short.
Attorney Schill, I believe he's asking, correct me if I'm wrong, is that if we could keep this contract for July 4th, 2021 and avoid paying the $1,000 penalty. But it would be, we would have to negotiate a new contract for a new season, if I'm correct.
Well, as I said at finance, I think we could talk with them about that. I will try to get that fee waived in exchange for contracting with them in 2021. So I will do my best on that, but just know that it's possible, pursuant to the contract, that we will have to pay $1,000 if we do not do, if we don't do the fireworks on September 5th.
Does that clarify it for you, Mr. Catnaugh?
Yeah, and that's how, I guess my question is, why do we have to make a decision on it tonight? Could we just take an agenda item on the special council meeting after you have some time to negotiate with them?
You kind of cut out there. Are you asking that if we held this over to the regular council meeting in whatever, in August here?
I think it's the 18th.
August 18th? I think.
Yeah, so if we held this off at the common council meeting and gave Sue a chance to negotiate to roll this over to 2021, I feel like that would be a better option than canceling, paying a fee, and then going into next year not knowing what their prices are going to be. I mean, fireworks, as we know, most of them are probably coming from China. The prices could be different. I feel like if we just could negotiate rolling this over to 2021, that might be the best idea, but it doesn't sound like we've had time to negotiate. So pushing this off till the common council meeting might be a better idea than just going ahead and canceling tonight, since we do have time.
Right, I was just going to say, we do have a motion on the floor. Is there any further discussion on that motion? And that motion is to cancel the fireworks for September 5th. So seeing no other discussion, I guess we'll vote. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Mr. Veneman.
So what are the ramifications? What are the ramifications if we don't cancel them and sometime between now and Labor Day, which isn't far off, we have a bigger spike, and do we pay the full boat then? I mean, how much time do they need to be canceled, I guess is the question.
Just the first part, and then it sounded like the primer went off.
Okay, Alderperson Veneman, go
What
ahead.
what are the ramifications that say we have another spike? Say we decided not to cancel them, and then all of a sudden, 4 days before we cancel them, do we pay the entire fee? Do we pay the $1,000? Do we know what we pay at that point?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the end of that. If we had another, you're saying if we change the contract to provide for one on July 4 of 2021, and then as it gets closer, we want to cancel? Is that the question?
No, I think what he said was,
What is the deadline to cancel the fireworks by to still have them done, I guess is the way to word that question.
Well, actually, I mean, it's a matter of what your penalty is for canceling. So if you cancel anytime after the contract is signed, up until the time, up to the day of the fireworks, it's $1,000 fee. If it's before the fireworks start on that day, it's a certain percent. I think it's 30%. And if it's once they start, the fee is paid.
So then doing it now is more so the city can prepare rather than doing it at the council meeting? Is that?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the beginning of that.
Yeah, I guess I'm just asking if, are we canceling it, the special meeting tonight? Is it so we have time to prepare, not because the penalty is $1,000 if we cancel it today or if we cancel it in 2 weeks, correct? So it's.
Well, I think they're, I mean, they kind of lined it all last week already in terms of for scheduling and their people in their hotel rooms and so on. And I told them that we would probably let them know this week. I guess if we basically say we're not going to decide yet and we're going to wait till we're closer, I guess what are you thinking is going to happen between now and September 4th? Are you thinking that we still you might still want to have the fireworks?
Well, I'm just saying in terms of times, people have talked about having a different location. I know that ideas have been thrown out there, but that gives us a little more time to do that if that was an option.
And I brought that up as a possibility before finance, but I have not heard anything, and the logistics of that ability to do it at that location, I think, is going to be difficult. And is that going to create a solution to what the potential problem is? I don't know.
No further question.
Anybody have anything else? Would anybody like to recognize Mr. Jinsky? Go ahead, Mr. Jinsky.
What is the difference? What is the difference having the fireworks here versus the airport? Is some reason the airport a more healthy atmosphere, or is it congregation of people in the area, or, you know, the thing is people have been really good about 6 feet away, as far as I've seen. You know, there's a certain amount of people that usually come to that fireworks every year that even if they had it down here in the river, they're not going to come. They're not going to come because of their health reasons. People are being responsible. I can't see the difference between there or anywhere else. You know, it's not going to be the same fireworks as it was last year or the year before because plain and simple health reasons. But there's a certain percentage of the population out there that you know, I'm sure would like to have some get together. You're seeing it all over anywhere. I mean, people are out on the river in their boats. People are out and about. Congregating one spot or another is not going to make a difference if we're smart about it. It shouldn't be a problem. Thank you.
Thank you. I guess my only thought was the drive-up option, but you're correct, though. All right, Mr. Kellogg.
I guess, why do we cancel it on the 4th of July? We canceled because of COVID and concerned about the health of the community. And why did other cities in the state cancel it on the 4th of July? Some held it. Well, why did they cancel it? Because of COVID and the health of their community. So what change in the concern, it's the same concern. And we're hearing that there's an increase in COVID and so forth. And it just seems to me, the circumstances are the same. So why would we not cancel this? Because we talked about it on the 4th of July, we agreed to cancel it on the 4th of July. So it seems to me we should cancel it because the circumstances are the same. And there's no question people want the fireworks. You know, it's great. Everybody loves them. I live near Witter Field, and baseball games. At the end of some of the baseball games, they have fireworks. And it's motherhood, apple pie, everybody. But if you're thinking about the health of the community, and that's what we did on the 4th of July, it seems to me the same circumstances would be here at this, talking about Labor Day. And so I'd say my vote would be to cancel them, and understanding that everybody would like to have them. And then reschedule it then for next year on the 4th of July, and hopefully the world will be different. So.
Thank you. Any other discussion?
Yeah, I'll just add one last point before we vote.
Go ahead.
I'm going to vote nay on this just because, can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to vote no on this, not because I don't think that we should cancel in for next month, which I do think we should, but we haven't went back to them and even tried to negotiate or to roll this contract over to next year. And we have time to do that between now and the common council meeting. So why we wouldn't do that, it's confusing to me, so that's why I'm going to be voting no.
Okay, thank you. Seeing no other discussion, if you're ready, please cast your ballots. Oh, I'm sorry, the motion is, it should be your motion, which is to cancel the fireworks for September 5th. Bemke did. Yep.
Nay.
Mr. Zerflu, how do you vote? What's that?
Zerflu's a nay. Nay.
And it comes down to a tie. Yeah, it always does. Well, by listening to Mr. Catnaugh, his concern was over the contract and not over, he favored canceling the fireworks, but however concerned about the contract. So I guess based on that, I am going to vote, since he probably, if we didn't have a contract issue, I'm going to vote, unfortunately, in favor at this point of canceling the fireworks, because that seemed, the issue is more a contract and not the fireworks. Okay, moving on. Okay, moving on to the next item is discuss and consider confirmation of Mayor Blazer's appointment to the position of Human Resource Manager. And that would be Mr. Kubishak.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. And this was on earlier scheduled Human Resources Committee meeting that commenced at 4:30 p.m. Today. And we had voted 3-0 in the affirmative to confirm Mr. Mayor Shane Blazer's HR manager appointment, Ryan Hartman. And Mr. Ryan Hartman is in the audience, and would you like to come forward and address the full council? And I'll give it back to the mayor for presiding over this meeting, but if anybody else has any questions for Mr. Hartman, I think he's more than willing to answer anything, so thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Kubishak, Mr. Mayor. Again, my name is Ryan Hartman, born and raised in Wisconsin Rapids. My background previous to this was 19 to 20 years at Bullseye Credit Union, which was right across the street. Successfully worked through that merger, and then looking forward to this opportunity. My background being in organizational leadership and development. That's where I've worked in developing leadership programs at what was Bullseye Credit Union at the time. I will currently be doing some adjunct instructing for Mid-State Technical College in the fall for human resource management and organizational behavior and development. Again, I have a passion to this community. I look forward, if the opportunity presents itself, to work with all of you and the employees here at the city.
Thank you. Does anybody have any questions for Mr. Hartman? Okay, seeing none. I'd entertain a motion.
I'll make that motion for confirmation.
We have a motion by Mr. Kubaschak to confirm the appointment, second by Mr. Veneman. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, please cast your ballot. Mr. Katnaw and Mr. Zerflu, how do you vote?
This is Gage, I vote aye.
Mr. Katnaw, what's that?
Aye?
Aye. And Mr. Zerflu?
Zerflu votes aye.
Motion carried, 6 ayes, 0 nays. Congratulations, Mr. Hartman.
Thank you for your time, and thank you very much. Looking forward to it.
Our next item on our agenda is adjournment.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
We have a motion by Kubaschak. Second by Mr. Veneman. Please cast your ballots.
Aye.
Okay, everyone, how do you vote? All in favor, say aye. Any nays? Motion carried. Thank you very much.